Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour, brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts, Chasers Food and Spirits, Excel Chiropractic, Quality Nails, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Thank you, Zach Dresch. You know, I try to switch up what I say to open the show after Zach's show open. But, you know, you gotta have a little flavor, right? And as a big fan of Jeopardy, host Ken Jennings always says, "Thank you, Johnny Gilbert," as he walks on stage right after Johnny's introduction of Ken. Don't know if this will become a tradition on this show, but I don't want to take someone else's tagline either, so I will use it sparingly, but still be thinking it each week, because he does a fine job. And you know what? Normally I like to include you people, all of those of you that listen, download, etc. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As for this episode, Dan Heier from Fellowship Jazz Center will talk about next week's premiere of the Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra. Then we go beyond the books to learn more about some South Dakota authors. Local author Emersyn Park and event organizer Kristie Schreck fill us in on this weekend's event. But first, let's pop the cork on this bubbly little show.
Time to grab your favorite beverage, lift it high, and toast it to being Thursday, a.k.a. Weekend Eve.
Hey, the weekend isn't around the corner, it's here!
So long, hump day and your frumpy way. We say hello to Thursdays with opening nights. The weekend is near and we can see the bright lights. Yes, Thursday, you're so hearty, we can't wait for Friday, so a day early, we start the party.
Doesn't matter what you toast with, as we all have different tastes and, of course, different times of the day that we happen to listen. So I'd be determining what you might be drinking. I am having my usual Jasper Newton. It's a Jack Daniels Diet Coke with a lime, double tall. You might be drinking water, milk, coffee, tea, beer, wine, or champagne. Whatever your beverage of choice is, lift it high and toast to having a friend for that. In this incredibly technological world, you'll often hear the phrase, "There's an app for that." Sometimes you need something that requires human interaction. Such was the case here at the Dipsy Doodle Productions studio recently. The sweet, charming, lovable, adorable show mascot, Charlie, has a tendency to chew electronics cords. That included a rather expensive microphone cord, and the last time that today's guest Dan Heier was on the show, I was telling him about it and bemoaning the fact I was going to have to replace it. Thankfully, I hadn't tossed it yet. I still had it. Showed it to Dan, and Dan says, "I have a friend for that." And so he brought it back to me the other day. You would have to look very, very closely to see where it was repaired. It's marvelous. I said, "Well, what do I?" He says, "Nothing." I like having a friend for that. Cheers to having a friend for that. The Weekend Eve Toast is brought to you by Chasers, West 12th and Ellis Road. Stop in for great food, great beverages, and fun times. In fact, speaking of the fun, join us Monday nights at 7 for Dave Holly Hour Trivia. This coming Monday, April 28th, it's the last Monday of the month. That means it's time for Wild Card Trivia. It's just general trivia, but everyone gets a chance to win on that one versus just the top 3 prizes going out.
Honorable mention.
All right, what made Dave laugh, chuckle, chortle, downright slap my knee silly, or even shed happy tears recently? Oh, we smiled a lot Easter Sunday. After having a delicious brunch at Minerva's, my love and I, along with a good friend, took in a classic. 7 Brides for 7 Brothers was playing at the State Theater. We each remarked afterward about how it remains a classic. And the State Theater, you're a classic. You continue to bring intriguing films, some classics, directors, collections, local projects as well. So thank you, State Theater. Later in the show, author Emersyn Park and Beyond the Books coordinator Kristie Schreck join the show. In just a moment, Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra's Dan Heier tells us about their debut concert next week. That's next on the Dave Holly Hour. Looking for something special to do this weekend? Join Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts at the Atrium Makers Market. It's held every Saturday from 10 until 4, features handmade jewelry, pottery, and textiles, unique art, photography, and sculptures, locally crafted candles, soaps, and gourmet items. Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts, second floor, the historic Shriver Square building in downtown Sioux Falls.
Are you an artist? Need some funding to further your art? There's a great opportunity for you through a Sioux Falls Arts Council program. The Artist Microgrant program gives away several microgrants to local artists, no matter what art discipline you're in. Unlike more traditional grants, a microgrant is very easy to apply for. Go to artssiouxfalls.org. If you haven't done so yet, create a listing on the Artist Directory, which is beneficial in its own way. Then go to the Artist Microgrants page and apply online. The process is simple. Find out more about the Sioux Falls Arts Council as well online at artssiouxfalls.org.
When all those cats jam, it turns into America's best music. Put some swing in that big band sound with the full 16. The Fellowship Jazz Center invites you to celebrate International Jazz Day with them Wednesday, April 30th, 7 p.m. at the Belbus Theater in the Washington Pavilion. It's the debut of the Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra, an unforgettable evening of works by renowned American composers, paying tribute to the rich tradition of jazz while introducing a bold new era of big band music to Sioux Falls. The evening will open with a special performance by Mitchell High School Jazz 1. This debut concert is more than just a performance, it's a community celebration. Tickets available on the Washington Pavilion website.
He's jazzed to the eyeballs. Once again, here's Dave Hawley. Crikey, mate.
Welcome back, everybody. It is definitely a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment, and a pleasure to talk to my friend Dan Heier from Fellowship Jazz Center. But that's not just the only part of it now. Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra. The big band comes out next Wednesday night on International Jazz Day. And Dan, you're going to be in the Belbus at the Washington Pavilion. A full 16-piecer?
16 people.
Ah, that's fantastic. Looking forward to this. First of all, let's kind of backtrack and start about a year ago that you and Jimmy were here and talked about this new Fellowship Jazz Center.
Yes.
And it was like cement footings or something at that point. Where is the whole process at this point? Are you on track, further ahead than they thought you would be?
That's a great question. I think we are doing what we set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing to compare it to know if I'm behind or ahead of track, you know?
Yeah.
Other than we just, one day at a time and driving forward with it. But there's been a lot of wonderful support throughout the community, and to make an orchestra happen, that support does not go unnoticed. And because, it's tough enough to get 5 people together to play a gig, let alone 16, and pay them. And I'm really happy that we're able to do that.
That's fantastic.
And to celebrate International Jazz Day.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you've been busy. There's no doubt about it. In fact, just this past weekend, you had Jazz Crawl, and it was a very, very fun time. And people missed out if they didn't go, but it looked like it was pretty well attended all throughout.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that, you were able to get 22 people just during the jazz crawl to sign up for the newsletter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign for newsletter. We sold a good number of tickets for the jazz orchestra as well, and a lot of people learned about it. And that doesn't go without thanks. As I was telling you before we started, all the staff at all the venues, so that would be Coffea, Parker's / Myrtle's, and then we had Bricks, Maribella, and Trio.
Yeah.
I handed them business cards because we're a volunteer organization, so I'm playing, so I can't be at all the places at once. And they did such a great job at just like handing out the business cards and telling folks like, hey, check this out, and helping spread the good word,
Yeah, and it's been a good spreading of the word the entire past year because, one of the tenets, one of the things in the mission for you guys is to educate people about jazz. And it doesn't just mean saying, being on a show like this, hey, jazz, and you got to come see us, that type of thing. You're out and about at the middle schools, the high schools. And, of course, one of the great things you have every month is Jazz Jam.
Yes.
And so how do you feel that has all been going? What's the reception you're getting from all the people that you invite into the jazz world?
The reception's been great, and it's just so fun to see a youthful generation so interested in this music and wanting to learn about jazz and really just to become better musicians. Yeah. And so we're having good, consistent, a good group of students coming to obviously the Jazz Jam. That's anywhere we've had from 15 to 30.
Wow.
And trios can hold 48. So there you go. And a lot of times the last few Jazz Jams have been standing room only, and that's a mix with obviously the players, people wanting to come and play, but then people love supporting the next generation of musician and watching them get on stage and play with, people they never played with before.
I know the last one that we attended, what I thought was so funny with the size of jazz, Trio Jazz Club, it was like, they need a separate room just for the cases for instruments. It was great, but, it was teenagers being teenagers and just kind of walking over everything and getting up there. But you are so spot on with what has happened with youth jazz and that there's such the opportunity now for them to go play with people that they've seen and then be able to, like you say, further their education as a musician, but also, get them on stage.
Yeah, getting them on and playing. And really the most important thing is the welcoming environment and the supportive environment. So from the, let's say, seasoned pros that come to these jams, whether they're in the house band or just coming to check it out, there's a great support network of people encouraging them. And I think just a little bit of encouragement goes a long way, for these young students. And it's fun to see because then they come back month after month and they take those little tidbits of knowledge.
Right.
And they come back and they're better next month. That's
fun. That's great to see. Do you think it's that way in all communities? Or because I always kind of think that the Sioux Empire is very fortunate with what we have, not just in the grade of talent, but in that the cooperation and collaboration. How many bands are you in? Groups that you are in?
I stopped keeping count.
Okay.
I mean, whoever calls, there we go.
Yeah. Well, you always say, I'm Dan Heier and I am for hire.
That's right. That's right. I would say, at least in my experience, so having lived in, went to college and in the Twin Cities, that was probably like a great example of just seeing like a lot of, the jazz community up there, or really just the music community and how much support there is and camaraderie amongst the musicians, and, as well as a caring for passing down information to the next generation. Of course, I chose to do that at a private music school, and I paid for it. But also, what happened beyond the classroom, I think, is even more memorable to me. You know, and just having a great set of mentors down there. You know, and when I was in Nashville, when I lived there, same thing. Just a lot of great musicians willing to help who is next, who's coming up next.
You know, a lot of sports teams will always talk about, you know, if somebody got injured, next man up. And, you know, we're getting to that point of, hey, I can't make it, but, how about calling this guy?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. You know, training your replacement as a lot of times, like,
right.
You know, and I think that's common in any leadership position. Like, I mean, it's very like I'm in the National Guard with the Army band there, you know, and you're always, you know, there's always change going on, right? I mean, the one constant is change. And so you want to make sure that if you can't do something, that the next person is there and can do it just as good as you, if not better.
Yeah.
You know,
what got you interested in music to begin with, and then especially getting so deep into jazz?
Well, I would say the way I got into it was my older brother was a drummer.
Okay.
Jason. And so just, I remember from like just a young age, I just wanted to play drums. And mainly because I think my older brother did, you know?
Right.
And so it's like, oh, I want to be cool like that. I want to play drums, you know? And then, you know, I did the school band program, started in 5th grade, like most people do on their instrument. And I can't exactly remember if it was like Christmas of, I think it was my 7th grade year or 8th grade year. And I got a drum set. and that changed everything for me. I mean, at one point I was like, it's not like I didn't like music, but I was almost like losing interest personally, you know? And then I got the drum set, and then it was just like, well, this thing's really cool, you know? And so I remember setting them up, and then my brother, he loved, you know, we were like jamming along to Kiss and Leonard Skinner and all that. And then it sat there for a little while. And because eventually it's like, I don't know what to do. And finally my band director, you know, because these band directors in a small town, they have to play. I mean, well, any band director really, they play all the instruments, they teach all the instruments. And I was really into drum set, and she knew that. So she found a teacher in Aberdeen, South Dakota for me. This was when I lived up in Roscoe. And that was a really great game changer for me. Finding someone to just like help me learn skills and introduced me to a lot of, I guess, what became my musical heroes. And he had one quote that stuck with me. And it was, he said, if you can play jazz, you can play anything. And I was like, okay. Obviously, I mean, I don't believe in blanket statements like that, but it at least piqued my interest. Okay?
Right.
And so, and then when I was a sophomore in high school, my family moved to Sioux Falls. And that was when I got to attend Lincoln High School and really get to play in a jazz band the very first time. And I just remember like the sheer excitement of being able to do that, and also trying it out for the first time, and then the sheer fear of like, oh, this didn't go the way I thought it should. I guess I need to practice more now, you know? And but what was also a turning point when my family moved to Sioux Falls was, well, I guess there was two things. I could go to Barnes & Noble, I could go to Best Buy, like, and I think there was this place called FYE in the mall where you could buy,
I remember that.
Music, right? And they had jazz sections.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, what is this? I've never seen this before. And
who's this guy?
Yeah. So I remember I went to FYE and I had enough money for 2 CDs. All right. One was a Burning for Buddy album, Buddy Rich, tribute to him. And it was basically the world's best drummers, biggest name drummers at the time, with the Buddy Rich Big Band, or at least alumni of the Buddy Rich Big Band. And I remember I bought that and I put it in my car. I went, that's really cool. I can't play that. Because it's just, paying homage to Buddy, right? And so a lot of technical virtuosity going on. But I had I had money for 2 CDs, right? And I was digging through the jazz section, and I saw this album of this really cool guy, and he looked familiar. I would be on drummerworld.com, and I was like, I don't know who this is, but I'm going to buy it. Because I thought the album cover was cool, and it was a Blue Note record. I'm like, well, what's this? And so I pick it up. It was Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers Moanin' album. And you hear that little piano riff. And I went, I can play that. Those 2 hits, And so that just started... That really, I tell people all the time, if it weren't for that album, I don't know. I mean, I probably would have found something and continued on the path to find jazz. But that was like, man, that was the biggest catalyst I had at that moment. And then all of a sudden it was like, then I started reading liner notes, in which I get to tell all my students what those are.
As well as telling them about charts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would read about these albums. So, the more you learn about something and kind of read about it, like, and you're open to the information, like, the more I enjoyed it. And then I'd read who was on these records. And then I go back to the jazz section and go, wait, Lee Morgan also has his own albums. Well, that's cool. And then you buy Miles Davis because everyone says buy Miles Davis, which is great. And then all of a sudden you read the liner notes there and you're like, oh, Cannonball Adderley has his own records. Oh, John Coltrane does too. And then you buy their records, right? And then you see their sidemen,
just
are also artists in their own right. And it was just kind of unending rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's still unending, by the way.
True. Music in perpetuity.
Yes.
Yeah, I love how that can happen. Okay, I just have to throw it out there because the drummer that I saw the most on television, because huge fan of the old Tonight Show, Eddie Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Wow. And
I have an Ed Shaughnessy story.
Oh, let's hear that.
So this would have been December 2010.
All right.
I had just graduated college in May 2010, and I had moved back here to play with a country band at the time. And it was, so one of my mentors I was telling about from McNally Smith, Dave Stanek, he called me up and was like, hey, I can't do this drum tech job for Ed Shaughnessy. And I trust you. Can you do it? And I just went, yes.
Yeah.
I'll figure out everything else later, schedule wise. I'm like, yes, I will do this. And I remember, so like leading up to it, I think I got a call from Ed Shaughnessy, and it was really cool. I'm like, here I am, I'm working, and I'm probably not supposed to be on break. And but I didn't care about the job I had at the time. So I was just like, yeah, I'm taking this phone call. See ya, and it was just so like, it was just, first of all, how cool he was and how kind he was. And then all of a sudden he just starts sharing stories, and I'm just like taking it all in, and we're talking a little bit about setup, and all that. And then I remember setting up his drum set, and my teacher was able to help me set up the kit, but he wasn't able to be there to tear it down. And I just, like, I'm setting up these drums, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is history. Like, this is history. And then I'm like, and this guy's a jazz drummer? This looks like a major rock arena kit, which is like pretty similar, like the old big band style kits. And then he was playing with the Minnesota Pops Orchestra, which Doc Severinsen was the director for many years with the Pops Orchestra in Minnesota. And so they were doing a Christmas show. And so I was able to see him play which was just beautiful to watch. It was his first gig after he had hip replacement surgery. But the coolest part about all that was walking back to his hotel room with him. And then just hanging out, and he's just sharing all these stories, like growing up in New York, or not growing, but like being in the New York City jazz scene, like when bebop was being invented. Okay, like just like this guy, he is jazz history. I mean, everyone, of course, knows him from The Tonight Show, but then all of a sudden, like, he's sharing all these gigs, like, hey, he always had 2 bass drums. Well, he's like, I was the first person to have 2 18-inch bass drums because that's what could fit into the cab to get to the gigs down in New York City.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it was unbelievable just to sit there and take that in. And then his memoir came out like a couple of years later, and it was like, I could just hear him saying all those stories as I'm reading the book. And so that's my Ed Shaughnessy story.
That's a great Ed Shaughnessy story.
Yeah.
But hey, speaking of Doc Severinsen, you mentioned his name. He's going to return to town here in October.
Is he?
Yeah. October 5th or something.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to get on that then. That'd be sweet.
Trust me, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting those tickets.
Yeah.
Last time he was here, I had front row.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Amazing. You know, what's great is these old jazz players, even maybe a bit more than rock stars, because rock stars will keep playing, but then it kind of becomes the unplugged version and so forth. But, you know, like Doc Severinsen, and let's see, we've also got Herb Alpert.
Yep.
Yeah, in fact, he's coming to town too, right?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
They're both in their 90s, I believe. Yeah.
And they both still practice immense amount of time.
Yep.
Like 3 to 6 hours a day. Yeah. So it's going to be good stuff. Looking forward to those. But in the meantime, looking forward, of course, to next Wednesday night, Belbis. And the show starts at 7.
Yes.
With the Mitchell High School Jazz 1, correct?
Yes, yeah, they're opening the show.
Yeah, and they're going to play about 25 minutes.
Yep.
And then we'll have a bit break. I say we because I'm going to be the master of ceremonies.
That's right.
And then you guys will start at 7:45. You've got 8 tunes picked out.
Yeah.
What type of songs will people hear when they come see the debut of Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra?
Well, we wanted to celebrate American composers. That doesn't narrow it down a whole lot. So. But obviously, we all stand on the shoulders of those that came before us. So we're going to be hearing music from, I got a list here because otherwise I would probably leave someone out. Oliver Nelson.
Okay.
Duke Ellington, of course.
Duke.
Count Basie. Charles Mingus. Mary Lou Williams, a wonderful piano player, and then we have Thad Jones. I'm a huge fan of the Thad Jones and Mel Lewis Orchestra, and Wayne Shorter.
Okay.
And I think, did I say Thelonious Monk?
No.
Yeah, so we got a Thelonious Monk tune. This great arrangement by the Bill Holman Big Band, and it's just it's so much fun. And then a surprise encore.
Aha. All right. I like surprises.
Yes. And so our goal is just obviously so everyone that I just mentioned are just so like they're so important to like the foundation of this music, you know, and what it and how they shaped it into what it eventually is still becoming today. You know, they're the foundation and more. Like I still listen to their stuff. And it's fresh.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah. It is so great to see all of that coming out and to see that we've reestablished jazz in Sioux Falls. Thank you, Ricardo Tarabelsi, for bringing it back first at Our Wine and then now with the Trio Jazz Club. Ricardo and Mary Beth.
Yes.
They are partners of this whole thing, and boy, they know how to run stuff. Just amazing. So it's great. If you've not been to Trio Jazz Club, I suggest you get there. You will be happy no matter what is being played there or who's playing there.
Oh, yeah.
I've not been disappointed in anything. And of course, you are the number one salesperson of cannoli.
Oh,
at
and they
Trio.
sold a lot of cannoli. They told me Saturday night at the Jazz Crawl. They sold a lot. So, yeah. Anyways, it's an ongoing joke for those listening.
So, Jazz Crawl was successful. You've been doing a lot of things out in the community. And now we're going to have the debut of the orchestra. Are there further gigs lined up for the orchestra at this point?
They aren't lined up just yet. But yes, there will be.
Yeah.
There will be. So,
But like you said, getting 16 people together.
yes, obviously it takes a lot of coordination. But also, to be fair, it was at the same time, it was easier than I thought because musicians love doing this.
Yeah.
And because first of all, you don't get to do it that much. You know, many of the musicians as well also play in a summer big band in Okoboji, so there'll be a lot of crossover with those musicians as well as some new ones. And just I think any chance I would get a call to play this, I would do my best to always make it work and play big band music. And you mentioned like the sort of the jazz community. Obviously, we talked about Ricardo and Mary Beth supporting jazz at our wine bar, having Trio Jazz Club, right? Supporting, our mission with the jam. And a lot of times our educational events, they allow us to go in there in the afternoon on weekends to hold those events. And just the absolute support of that is so amazing, from them too, especially. But it takes all these little things, to make like a certain music community come together. And the last missing piece, at least for right now, is the Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra, a working big band in Sioux Falls. And our goal is to have a concert series, much like the South Dakota Symphony, if you will, something similar vibe and programming that. And I do have ideas for future programming. And so, but I really wanted to see how this first one is doing. And it's been really great to feel and hear about all the energy from the community supporting this. And so, yes, there will be more.
All right. Look forward to it. Look forward to having you back on the more we have this, because it's always a pleasure talking to you, Dan.
Likewise.
And love talking about jazz and how the community comes together for it. And so we will, I'm sure. In the meantime, boy, you've been on how many times now? It's about your fifth, maybe, that you've been on the show?
I feel like it's definitely fourth.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that means we've gone through quite a few different questions then. So let's throw this one out. What is your favorite time to play?
To play?
Yes. 4/4.
I mean,
5/8.
4/4. Well, it's called common time for a reason.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's fun. Each time signature has its joys. 4/4 is obviously like it's just rooted in everything, in really many styles of music. But I think of like blues and jazz. I mean, so much of that. And rock and roll, like it's just a feel good tempo. I do enjoy playing in 3 a lot. And I love like how I can manipulate that sometimes, where if people are listening, it feels like I'm playing in 2, kind of that 2 against 3 type of thing. I love kind of messing with that in 3/4 time when the song and the gig allows, and and 5/4 is fun too. I worked with a young jazz band this morning on take 5. And that's a tough time signature at first. Basically anything outside of 4/4 is tough because it's not what's heard. A ton. It's not as common. So if you're a musician, you're going out I was telling the students this morning, if you're playing 5/4, it's almost like you have to take 2 steps with your left foot at some point, and that does not feel natural.
Right.
Yeah. But like anything, you work on it, and it all becomes comfortable. But I did have a lot of fun. JES, we did a song that was in 11/4 on Bird Ritual Interrupted. And I remember the first time we all played that, we're like, oh my gosh, like it was kind of like a math problem right away. But it's been so much
if you
fun.
take off from Kansas City.
Yeah. But what was really fun because we all worked on it, and as we played more and more and more together, then all of a sudden, like, how easy it became to play. And then obviously then we're listening to each other and we can dive deeper into it.
Oh man.
I don't think I answered your question though. I mean,
well, no, that's a great way to answer
but
it.
There's they're all fun,
Right.
If they don't seem fun right away, it's normally because I'm not comfortable with it. And then when I get comfortable with it, it's fun.
So how long does it take you to learn a time signature that's odd?
I guess it just really, until I hear the music ultimately kind of in my head, like if I have to work on tunes, like especially 8-time tunes, that's not like your standard, like kind of gospel 6/8 type of feel, it's just like anything, I just take it slow and steady. And sometimes some things take longer and some things take less time.
Yeah. I always loved listening to things in 6/8.
Yeah.
Hated playing them.
Oh, yeah.
Me and 6/8, not friends.
Yeah, it's a 8-time is as a teacher and like trying to teach that, it's challenging.
Yeah,
for folks, because you have to, if you're reading music, then your mindset's a little bit different, than it is in like a quarter time. You know? But yeah, no, that's one of my favorite feels. I got them all. I like them all.
So we have the debut of the Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra coming up Wednesday night at the Belbus. How do we get tickets?
You can get tickets at the Washington Pavilion website and or box office. And if you're part of a group of 10 or more, we do have a group discount.
There we go.
And all you have to do is call the box office. So tickets are priced at $35. And if you're in a group, that price is $30. And then also if you're, and then there's additional fees, but if you're tax exempt organization, I think ends up being like $35 even per a ticket.
All right. That's great.
But otherwise it's if you're coming, it's $35 plus ticket fees. And we're going to have a heck of a good time, and we're going to have some merch. We got some new merch.
There we go.
So
yes.
I displayed and, brought some of it out at the Jazz Crawl, but that was only one t-shirt color of 3 that we have. And so we're excited to bring out merch.
You can see my boxes over here for different things.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I have lots of boxes. Those are smaller than mine, though. So.
Okay, Dan Heier, thank you so much, my friend. Always appreciate this and appreciate everything you're doing for the jazz community and arts in general in the Sioux Falls area.
Likewise. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. And we'll be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment. Playing the Trio Jazz Club tonight, Luke Carlson and 5 Got Rhythm. Noma Trio with Dana Murphy takes the stage for 2 shows Friday night, 6:30 and 9. Beyond performing, he also happens to be an accomplished songwriter, producer, and collaborator. Jeff Sukup Quartet, led by Jeff, on the horn. 6:30 and 9 p.m. Saturday shows. Comedy Night returns to Trio on Tuesday at 7 as Dan Bublitz returns to Sioux Falls to provide the laughter. For show times and tickets, as well as more information about other upcoming shows, go online at triojazzclub.com.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony don't simply provide the service, they provide professional care for your hands and feet. Whether you just want the basics or you're looking for an extra special look with an added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails on Minnesota. Call for an appointment, 605-334-1463.
And now, more of the Dave Holly Hour.
Welcome back, everybody. Yes, it's a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire arts and entertainment, and we try to cover all of it as best we can, and it's time to go beyond the books. Dun, dun, dun. It's a 2-day affair that's coming up this weekend, and here to talk all about it, well, first of all, our returning guest.
Yes.
One of our favorite authors,
Oh, good.
Emersyn Park. How are you?
Oh, good.
Good.
Yes, glad to be here.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're here too. Thank you, Jack Daniels. Yeah. Perfect.
Is that your middle name?
No, you know that actually Jack Daniels, his real name was
What?
Jasper Newton Daniels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a fun name, but
See, a little trivia.
this rolls off your tongue easier when you
Yes,
want.
it does.
Jack
Yep.
and Coke.
And who goes up and orders a Jasper Newton? Well, actually, I do. I've got most of the bartenders in the area trained now.
Oh, good job.
Also joining us for the first time, but not the first with this last name to be in this studio, it is Kristie Schreck. How are you?
Wonderful. Excited.
Excellent. Your son was in here one time,
Yeah.
and then I was trying to get your son and your husband on at the same time, and well, he's kind of a busy guy.
He's got a few things going on.
Yeah, and a strange schedule too.
Very strange
Yeah.
schedule.
And so that's why you have a whole bunch of kids to help out around the house when he's not there, right?
5 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep it flowing.
Oh, fun stuff to talk about. But man, we got a great thing to talk about right now. Beyond the books. I know that Miss Emersyn has been helping out with this, but she said, well, Kristie's really the one to talk to because you put this together. So tell us, what is it and how do we get involved?
So really, this is a premier event for Sioux Falls. I don't think anything out like this has been done before. And it's a wonderful opportunity for the community. And it's at Our Savior's Community Library in the gathering space there. Just so we can kind of build, we've got excellent authors right here in town. We've got lots of readers, very diverse readers, a variety of people that love books, a variety of people that write books right here in Sioux Falls. And we want to bring them together and give them experiences. You know, when you're reading a book, some people have a routine to go sit down and have their tea and have their pillow and whatnot, or some people like to read in bed and have their drink beside them or whatever. So this is
You're like, yeah.
Yes,
The drink
it's
beside
for
them.
all are welcome. All are welcome. But it gives them an opportunity to have these experiences that are beyond just the book.
Right.
We're bringing the authors to them. We're bringing the vendors that have those things that make you feel comfy and excited about reading those books. And the stories that our authors have to tell just are beyond the book.
Yes.
You need to be there. I met Emersyn at the book festival up in Brookings this fall.
Yep.
We did not know each other before then.
Really?
But imagine that. We just hit it off and talk.
Yeah. You hitting it off and talking.
I know. We
Yeah,
talked
it's
about
a tough
books,
thing.
and she had this idea, and I was like, I'll help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that was
here we are.
exciting to have her from that perspective.
Right. And so how many authors will there be that will be attending?
We have 4 authors that are going to be speaking.
Okay.
So we have, in addition to that, I think we have 9 other authors.
It's at 9. I feel like it's
Wow.
more.
That will be at vendor
Regardless,
table.
it's still
Yes.
a great,
Local.
great number that you have.
Yeah,
Yes.
local from not just Sioux Falls, but
Minnesota and Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, got the tri-states surrounded.
Yes.
Just like a weather forecast.
Tri-State Hurricanes.
All right. So what are we going to learn from Emersyn Park?
Probably.
Are you going to
not
be
a
one of the
whole lot.
speakers?
No, but
You're not.
I know that would be scary. I am going to absorb their knowledge is what I plan on doing. So,
what do you love best about being an author?
okay. I love meeting new people.
Mhm.
I feel like I have two parts to my personality. This part that gets to enjoy this and we get to go out and meet people, but I love absorbing the knowledge and sitting back and taking it. And then that's my introvert part, going taking it and using it for my books.
Yeah. I'm going to throw the BS flag on introvert.
I have a little bit in me. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to sit still once in a while.
I haven't met that part yet.
I think it's in there. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
But anyway.
What are you hoping you get out of this then?
Connections.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at like when I went to Brookings and met Kristie. I mean, look at how that friendship built. And now we're doing this. And it just, so I feel like there'll be a lot of connections there. A lot of these people I've kind of roped in that'll be there as vendors and other authors. But, I'm just excited.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love talking books. I could do it
All right. So
weekend.
2 days. Let's talk about, you already mentioned where, but what are the times for the 2 days? And is there a cost to this or what do we have going on?
So on Friday night, it's a gala.
Okay.
And people say, what do we wear? And I said, don't bring your prom dress or a tuxedo. Just your dress up. Just dress up to come.
Yeah.
Shave your legs. Or you don't have to, Dave.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Didn't
Got in
think
trouble
about that.
last
That
time,
did
so.
not cross my mind yet. But yes. We are having mocktails.
Okay.
And we're having string quartet from the South Dakota Symphony called White Spruce that will be playing.
Oh, we've had them on the air before.
It's
or
gonna
on
be
this
an
show. It's not
experience.
on the
Just an amazing
Yeah.
experience. And we will have Minerva's is catering our dinner.
I heard that. Yes.
And we will have, actually, this is all happening because of money that was donated to the church library, the community library from the Ellman family. Bob and Rita Ellman were members of the church, the avid readers, and they left money just specifically for the library and to create the community. So we're fortunate enough to have the Ellman Family Foundation will be at the event.
Oh, wow.
And they will get to say a few words. We've got a plaque that we have created for them. So just thanking them for giving this opportunity to Sioux Falls to have this time to get together. And then Billy Mills is going to only tease on Friday night.
Oh.
He has got a video that he shows, and I saw it in Brookings. That's what got me really excited about this too. And the video is just goosebumps. It's from 1964 in the Olympics.
Right.
He was running in,
Yeah.
and they're talking about there's a newcomer to the road, and here, Billy Mills, and the race is going, and I'm sitting there thinking, I thought he won because he was so far back. And then of course we know that he wins, but getting to hear him talk, you get to hear the background by what spurred him in that last stretch. So
very cool.
Meeting
See,
an
I've
Olympic.
not heard that part before.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. And he's not going to tell you what it was on Friday night. You've got to come Saturday.
You got to come Saturday for that part then.
Hear
What time is he speaking Saturday?
On Saturday afternoon, he'll speak at 1:30.
Okay. Who else is speaking?
Okay. So that will be our evening. It's
Friday
just
night.
meet and greet and sponsors that have helped us along with this as well. And then on Saturday morning, doors will open at 8:45, and we have vendors, coffee truck, rainy day coffee truck will be out there.
Bakeries.
Yes.
Bakeries.
Yes. The authors, there's going to be a wood making vendor there as well. There's permanent jewelry that's going to be there. There's a variety. And Poppy's Popcorn is sponsoring us. He's a former student of mine.
Really?
Owner of Poppy's Popcorn. And he said, you're a pretty good teacher when I had you. So I'll sponsor something. So that's exciting. So there's going to be all day long. There's going to be Minerva's is doing lunch and doing some light breakfast items. The vendors will be there throughout the entire time. And our first guest speaker is going to be Paul Horsted. And Paul Horsted is known around the country. He does the then and now books
Right.
with the photographs.
Mm-hmm.
So he lives in Custer. He's coming over this way. He knows the Ellman family. And so that's kind of exciting. But it's all four of my authors that are going to be speaking have their own niche. They
Right.
have their own lane. And so his is the tabletop books with the awesome pictures of then and now. Then there'll be a little break. And then we have Becky Blue that's going to talk. And Becky Blue is local. And she has written a couple of her second book's coming out soon, but she has the book is called Turning. And it's the magic and mystery of more days. It's like you are little and you grow older, and then you grow older, and who you take care of and the changes that happen along the way, and kind of how to navigate those situations. So hers is more of a discussion, like an interactive
Right.
kind of talk. And then Patty Wetterling is going to be speaking right before lunch. And Patty wrote her book with Joy Baker. So Joy Baker was a blogger before blogging was a thing. And so she started writing all of these things down as they were happening. And they weren't best friends to start with because Patty didn't really understand, like, that's a lot of information you're giving out.
Right.
You know what? But the idea is to get that out so that people can help. So the two of them are really good friends, and they are going to be speaking before lunch, talking about the book. And so that 35 years, it's been 35 years since Jacob was abducted. And reading the book, I think it's a hard read just because you know how it ends.
Right. Yeah.
But when we get to see Patty standing there and talking about this, and she survived this, again, beyond the book, the experience that this can bring for us. So that's going to be amazing as well. And then after lunch, Billy will give us the whole
story, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to use Patty Wetterling right before lunch. So are there going to be napkins for people to blot the tears?
Yes.
There will be a swag bag given to you when you come in that includes a pack of tissues.
Out of everything.
Good thinking. Yeah.
Yes, beyond the book. Yeah.
All right. So have you put together events such as this prior?
No.
So your
This is
first time, just
She's
inaugural.
amazing.
yeah.
Got everything.
The dream, the energy, the support, all of this is being done by volunteers.
Yep.
Besides myself, I'm the library coordinator, but
Right.
everybody else doing this are volunteers, and they are amazing. Excited about it. What can I do?
Yep.
They just really want to be a part of this experience. So that makes it, God, when you're doing an event and you've got all these people surrounding you that are rooting for you and are willing to do whatever, it just makes it
very rewarding.
Yeah.
All right. So a
Very
premier event.
premier.
Do you have an idea in your head as to how many people you're hoping for?
Right as of today, we are almost sold out.
Oh, wow.
We have the opportunity to add 2 more tables is all to our Friday night event. We have 34 tables of 8 people that are filled.
Incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so the tickets you can purchase for Friday and Saturday,
Mhm.
or you can just buy Saturday tickets for that event. So it's, I mean, you know, when it starts off, you're like, oh, we can fill this area. Yeah, that would be great. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, we're filling the area.
Yep.
So
Oh, that's exciting, and exciting for the program itself. And so, are you hoping that this is going to be an annual event?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping so. It's not a fundraising event.
Right.
It's our goal is-
Celebration.
yes, and to break even. So to not
Mhm.
going to make money, but it's just giving that experience. It's a celebration.
Yep.
So
She's already got ideas for next
Yeah.
year, so we're good.
Out of those authors that will be speaking,
Mm-hmm.
who are you looking forward to seeing and hearing from the most, Emersyn?
Well, as a girl and a mom,
Mhm.
Patty.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember that story. So
Oh.
yeah, to me, I'm like, oh, that's gonna give me goosebumps. But I also, like you said, she's an amazing woman and she's done great things with her experience and learned a lot. So I think that'll be the most exciting for me. I have been checking out Becky Blue, and so I'm excited about hers too. And yeah, they're all gonna be great.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And, when I saw that the Billy Mills was on there, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
And so a little tease on a Friday night for that, and then the
Goosebumps
story.
when you hear him talk. Just that he's a living, breathing,
Yeah.
big old metal person. And I tell people he's 86 years old, but he doesn't talk and act like a stereotypical. I know it's different nowadays, but he's still vibrant and he's still got an excellent message. So,
I'm getting goosebumps already just thinking about everything.
yeah. And he just wrote a book that came out, and it's the 2025 book of the 2025 South Dakota Book of the Year. Read for third graders all across the state.
Oh, fantastic.
And it's called Wings of an Eagle. And just a tease about that, when one of his parents died, he was so sad and he had all of this grief, and he's like, I don't know what's wrong with me, and I just can't get over it. And his other parents said, your wings are broken.
Oh.
And it takes time to heal.
Ooh.
So, and then
I'm going to use that.
Oh,
wow.
yes.
He's using it.
Yeah. Did he copyright it? No.
Yeah. So his book it's a picture book, but the pictures and the message is very clear and powerful that come through.
Is there going to be Q&A after each of them speak?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll have that. Plus, I'm assuming all the rest of the time just roaming around, you run into them, you sit and have a chat for a while about stuff.
And
yeah.
that's kind of more what Friday night is for.
Okay.
So it's not so official, like he's sitting behind a table and you're in a line.
Not like going to a book reading. Yeah.
Right.
So you just start
having
Billy.
dinner.
Yeah. Nice to see you. Thanks for
That's
I remember when a lot of people are doing that.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, especially with Patty Wetterling.
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
Such a horrible story. But like you both have said, that she's taken that and made it a message. And there were so many instances like that we hear about of people taking a hardship and making it into hope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I'm sure that will be one of the themes that comes out from beyond the books. All right, Emersyn, you've been busy. How many books do we have on the shelf now?
5. Yeah. 6 in the work.
Oh, my.
So, busy, always.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
What has been response to the most recent?
Just more or less the same with my brain messed up a little bit. But all good. I mean, I tried to give them a little resolution, see some things tying up. So
right.
I think it's pretty good. I mean, they keep wanting more.
Right.
So
yeah. And as long as you have that, you've got that going for you.
Take it.
Yeah. So what's the one in the works? Do we have a working title at this point?
If I say yes, I would say the working title is Hunter's Game.
Ooh.
So it's going to be about a relationship and a gal escapes. Let's just from the relationship, and there'll be a little bit of an adventure, and of course I'm going to set it right here in South Dakota again.
Excellent.
Tie in some fun little.
Oh, yeah. We love it when we're reading your work. And that's actually that bar.
Exactly. That's what's fun.
Yeah.
So
and that does make it that way. And it's always great to have you here and get to chat about your work. But thank you for bringing this along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, I have to thank my love, because she would be the one that, she's like your number one fan. And then she'll say, oh, look at this event. Don't forget this is coming up at the end of the month. You better get somebody on about it. It's like, yeah, I better. Yeah. So
what does she drink? Let's bring her a drink.
Michelob Ultra.
Okay, there you go.
Or not Ultra, but Michelob Golden, something like that.
Really
with a lot of
gets us on your books.
Yeah. And then she, sprinkles about half a jar of olives in them now. Yeah. And so that's the way that she rolls.
We also have Emerson's books in our library too.
Oh, excellent.
That's a really important thing to understand too, is that it's a community library.
Right.
People think that
Since it's at a church, that yeah.
it's just like a little hole in the wall with dusty books on it. But no, we are children to adult books, all kinds of books.
That's fantastic.
Okay, so yeah.
You know, because I'll be honest, when I saw it, I was like, oh, at a church library, huh?
Yes.
So
over 10,000 books in our library.
Well, that'll keep people busy for a while.
Yeah. Fabulous. Yeah. And they're the ones that I want.
Yes.
I just return to.
If you're on the waiting list anywhere else, check with us.
Yeah, and so
I'll give you Kristie's number.
What do you enjoy most about working at it?
Oh, the people.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, the people. I was a school teacher and public school librarian for 33 years, retired, and this is a dream job. I get to do
what you love to do.
I get to teach preschool. I get to read to the preschool kids, but I get to interact with adults too and order books, and people stop in. It's just a welcoming place to talk about the books. I love getting recommendations. I don't know if I should say his name, but there's a former principal from Sioux Falls, Washington High School, the original.
Mm-hmm.
He's 92 years old, and he called in this morning. He goes, just checking to see if you got my next book club book for the month. He comes in every month and gets and he's reading stuff that just came out. And I'm like, we don't have that one yet. So I get on Amazon, I order the book, and
order.
It's there.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, so it's the people. I love the people. Yeah,
they are very friendly. Nice.
Honestly, all are welcome.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, good time.
And that's always a good thing. All right. So Emersyn has been here before, so she doesn't get the original question.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we change it now if you've been a repeat guest.
I thought you were just going to skip me.
No. I'll come back to you. But since this is Kristie's first time on the show, and it may be a little bit different for her because we didn't talk so much arts entertainment, but definitely authors are artists.
Yes.
And so when you're not involved with arts and entertainment, what do you like to be entertained by?
My children?
Yeah.
I've got 5 kids.
Some of whom are in the arts.
Yeah. So there's plays, there's musicals. I've got a son in college that's playing volleyball, the men's volleyball. Got on varsity this year. So traveling to the varsity volleyball games. And, I really enjoy going out with my friends. I like to meet in the park. I like to, stop at the coffee shop. I belong to book clubs, and, Phil and I don't get a lot of time together.
Right.
Because our hours are different from what we work. So really ordering a pizza and watching something that's on Netflix or something is really enjoyable.
I can imagine so.
Yeah.
All right. So any other hobbies?
She doesn't have time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things that I
know that I ask that a lot.
Pickleball.
Oh yeah.
You are a pickleball.
Got into that.
Okay.
That little phase there, but
have you competed against Jessica Graber?
I don't believe so.
Okay, she takes that pickleball seriously.
Okay.
Everybody I play with takes it seriously. I came in there whiffing in the air, and they're like.
Yeah, because I thought, they kind of came up with this whole pickleball thing to get people active,
right?
Have a little fun and move.
Right.
Yeah. One of my volunteers broke her humerus last week.
Wow.
Playing pickleball. She just went, and they weren't even playing the game yet. They were just warming up.
Oh, my.
So, but that is fun.
All right. Emersyn.
Uh-oh.
You say things like that so often. How often have you been in this studio enough to know that it's always going to be a fun thing, right?
Yeah. But sometimes I don't know the answer.
Well, that's what makes it even more fun. Yeah. Or a lot of the times I'll get it's not just that. And people go on, I guess I didn't answer your question. Yeah, you did. You answered it great. It's what we're looking for. Yeah. So what is your mantra, word, or phrase?
You always do it. See, I'm not that smart.
Oh, come on.
Oh, could you text me these questions?
No, I don't do that. Remember, there's another author in town that refuses to be on this show because I don't send out questions prior.
I think I had a word the other day that I started to kind of like.
All right.
But I can't remember what it is because you put me on the spot.
Ah, yeah. Could it be the word memory?
Not what I would like to remember things. That's why I play those games at night on my phone so that I can work on my brain. Dave.
All right. So we'll skip it then.
Okay.
So games on the phone, what's your favorite?
Oh, I just play Wordle.
Wordle?
The word
Okay.
Games,
Yeah.
Word Scrabble.
Did you get it today?
I didn't. I do it at night.
Okay.
Keep my brain active at night.
So are we to the point of no spoilers then?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not,
Don't
I
tell
won't
me the
spoil-
word.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a hint.
No, the word yesterday made me mad because I had all 3 letters and then I just couldn't get it.
I got it on the last, and it was
Yeah.
just, and I never heard the word before.
I didn't either. Did you look it up?
No.
It meant, splate?
Yes.
S-P-A-T, no, spate. And it meant something, a grouping or repeating. I was like, that is not a word.
Because I did.
How many
say-
points will it get you in Scrabble?
No, probably not very many.
Yeah.
None.
I know, yeah.
Not worth
Just like my favorite word is splendiferous.
Oh, see?
But you don't get
prepared for
you
this
don't
question.
get a lot of points though in Scrabble on
Oh, you
that.
don't?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's pretty generic.
Oh, I got to come up with a better one.
No.
No?
Yeah. I still do crosswords
Good job.
as much as I can. Keep the noggin in shape here.
Ticker
Yeah.
working. Good. I like your new glasses.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Makes you look really smart.
Well, thank you, because I was smart enough at least to go to the eye doctor and say, I can't see worth crap. Make me see again.
Let me.
All right. So, once again, 2-day event. It's Friday night and Saturday, and it is at. See, here's where the glasses come in greatly. Our Savior's Lutheran Church Library. There we go. See,
909 West 33rd.
yeah, I know where it's at because a very dear friend does a lot of things there. Yeah.
Okay.
And he said, well, is Kristie Schreck going to be on then? Because we were talking about this last night. In fact, yeah.
Wonderful.
Bob Nelson.
He's a wonderful man.
Aw.
He's helping out. He is one of the best volunteers.
Isn't he, though?
With all of the
Yeah.
food and
He's incredible.
dishes and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
And he has this, when you're in different things in the arts, you find that you have, maybe your regular family, your extended family, and then you kind of get this new little family. And then maybe you get more new little families and so forth. I think at last count, Bob's is probably up to 10 million. Just knows a few people here and there, and that's all. All right. Thank you both so much for being on. I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll be back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment. Trio Jazz Club is an intimate music venue in the heart of Sioux Falls. It's family-owned and family-run. Ricardo and Mary Beth and the entire staff provide the art of hospitality, while the best local and regional musicians provide the smooth sounds. It's a great vibe with live music Tuesday through Saturday nights. The chefs and mixologists offer an amazing menu and beer and wine lists. Cocktails as smooth as the jazz. Join the club, Trio Jazz Club, across from the Washington Pavilion. Enter as friends, leave as family.
Are you an artist? Need some funding to further your art? There's a great opportunity for you through a Sioux Falls Arts Council program. The Artist Microgrant program gives away several microgrants to local artists, no matter what art discipline you're in. Unlike more traditional grants, a microgrant is very easy to apply for. Go to artssiouxfalls.org. If you haven't done so yet, create a listing on the Artist Directory, which is beneficial in its own way. Then go to the Artist Microgrants page and apply online. The process is simple. Find out more about the Sioux Falls Arts Council as well online at artssiouxfalls.org.
Celebrate International Jazz Day with the Fellowship Jazz Center Wednesday, April 30th in the Belbus Theater at the Washington Pavilion, 7 p.m. We're thrilled to announce the debut of the Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra. FJCO will deliver an unforgettable evening of vibrant music celebrating one of America's greatest art forms, jazz. This special event also shines spotlight on the future of jazz with an opening performance by Mitchell High School Jazz 1. The night will feature works by American composers. This inaugural concert is a true celebration of the power and spirit of jazz. For more information, including how to purchase tickets, go online, fellowshipjazzcenter.org.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XL Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or xlchiros.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XL Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Funny, engaging, connected. He's the entertainment reporter for Sioux Falls. Here's Dave Hawley.
Thanks again to my great guests, Dan Heier and Emersyn Park and Kristie Schreck. I encourage you to find your art. Find the art you enjoy. Find the art that you're interested maybe even in trying. Now, if you need a suggestion, we're going to be taking in the Goodnight Theater Collective production of The Sound of Music tonight. Then Sunday, the afternoon, we'll be going to the Premier Playhouse's passion project, Educating Rita. We'll see you in the arts. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Hawley, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Hawley Hour has been brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club, Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts, Chasers Food and Spirits, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. Stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. All episodes available anytime at DaveHawleyHour.com. The Dave Hawley Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.